Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Becky, and if you're new here then welcome, and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed our first video, which was creating a DIY goals board for the year, and this is going to be something similar, and we're going to be creating a affirmation board. So without further ado, grab yourself a drink and let's get on with the video. Okay guys, so it is a new year, and if you're like me and a lot of people out there, you set yourselves goals for the new year, which is kind of what we did last video. Now in this video I had got really into affirmations at the end of last year, and it's something I want to take forward into the new year. So we are going to be doing a DIY affirmation board, and it is going to look something like this. So this is one that I've created. I'm going to show you how I made this. But basically it's just something that I have at the end of my bed. You can put it anywhere in the house, and it just has like a few different affirmations on it, a few different photos that mean a lot to me, and it's just something really nice that as soon as you wake up or when you leave the house, you can see it, you can pick one and read it, and it just triggers your mind into that positive mindset for the day. So what you're going to need for this DIY is a cork board like this. I just picked this up from probably like Hobbycraft or somewhere, but I'm sure there'll be some on Amazon. And I've just put some command strips on the back of it to put it up on my wall. Now it was just like this wooden colour, but I just got a tester paint pot and I've just painted round it. So I'm going to switch to before it's done, because obviously this is kind of how it's looking finished. I might change it around a little bit. Then you're also going to want some quotes from Pinterest or Google. You can type in like affirmations, so I typed in like positive affirmations, I typed in kind of like self-belief affirmations, just something, because that's something that I struggle with, and like believing in yourself and knowing that you've got it. And I went for a colour scheme as well, so mine's quite pink and pastel and bright. But you can kind of type in like baby blue affirmations to do with self-care or anything like that, and there's a whole host of things that will come up on Pinterest. And then all I did was screenshot those, added them to a Word document, and then printed them out in different sizes, just so I could kind of get like a collage effect. Then I also got some photos just of like me and Jake, of me and my family, and one of Woody, and I've just added those in there as well. And then you're also going to want just some little pins if you're using a cork board. You could also use a whiteboard and use like the magnetic markers, or you could just use like a big A3 piece of paper and glue them on, and then you could frame it so it's got a nice glass front. It's whatever aesthetic you want to go for. Okay, so let's start with this craft. I'm going to switch to before I put it all together. I just wanted to show you what it was going to look like at the end, so you kind of had an idea of what we were doing. Okay, so I have my bare cork board here. As you can see, this is one that I've used multiple times in the past for different things like to-do lists, just kind of to pin up for my organisation in the kitchen. So it's quite battered, and you can see that I've actually painted it. I originally had it like a pinky purple colour, but then to go a bit more neutral, I just went for a white frame. So to do that, like I said, I just picked up a tester pot from, I think it was from like Wix, or anywhere where you can get like the Deluxe or whatever paint samples, because you can get them quite cheap. So I've gone around that and painted it. I have got some little kind of pins, like cork pins. If you're using it on like a whiteboard, you could use magnetic bits like that. And then I have all my little kind of cutouts. So I've got some photos, and then I've just got some kind of like various quotes that I found on Pinterest, and I just added those to like a Word document and have printed those out. I've kept some with sharp corners. I've cut some kind of like with round corners, just so I can start laying them out. So the first thing you're going to want to do before you start pinning or gluing is just kind of lay them out to see a generic style that you want. So I actually started doing this. And just to make it a bit easier to piece back together, I started from the middle with like my biggest, so the main quote that I kind of wanted to see, I've made sure that was kind of bigger and I've put that in the middle, and then I started placing ones round it. And then to make it easier to remember, obviously you can take a photo and try and redo it afterwards, but I just got a little bit of sellotape and I've just started like sticking together some of them, just so I can start to see kind of how the pattern's going to turn out. So these are just a few quotes, and it's like it's okay to take a break. If you need to believe in something, start with yourself. Be the one that just went for it. Don't compare your life to others. There's no comparison between the sun and the moon. They shine when it's their time, and that's one that I really liked. So they're just a few examples of some affirmations that I've got. Obviously it depends what your goals are, it depends what different affirmations you want to have on your board. And then I'm going to start going in with some photos just to kind of mix it up. So I probably want the one of Woody down here. Just get some different family ones in. Now it might take a few takes to kind of place everything together, because obviously depending on the sizes, depending how many you've printed out, to try and fit them all in can be a bit tricky. Now I've just added in like a few yellows and oranges and blues to break up some of the pinks as well. Okay guys, so I've kind of done my rough layout, and as I've been reading this, it's just been making me feel so much like happier and lighter. I'll just let Woody out. Okay, so I'm just going to go in with a bit of tape. And as I was saying, affirmations are just really good to kind of trick your mind into thinking positive. Because I've read loads of studies that are like, your mind isn't built to be positive because of like being cavemen and everything. We're designed to like always be ready to like fight or flight and survival, and we're always thinking of like worse situations or overthinking and just being filled with negative thoughts, and you actually have to train your mind to be positive. But yeah, so apparently you have to train your mind to be positive, and that's why affirmations can be really useful, because if you start off with one, and especially in the morning, if you wake up in the morning and you're so tired, you think, oh God, today's just going to be a bad day, I don't want to get up, it's so dark outside, especially in January. You just need something with a bit of positivity and just put a pep in your step. So that's why I quite like these, and I thought I'd share it with you. And it kind of fits in nicely with the DIY goals board that we did as well. Now I did print out a few extra ones, but I've not managed to fit those in, so I've just kind of left those to one side. And the beauty about it being on kind of a cork board is if you want to change it so your affirmations are for something else, it's really easy just to kind of take off and redo. Okay, so now that I've gone in with a bit of tape, I've got my little pins here. Now I kind of wanted them all to be clear or pink, but I didn't have enough and I didn't want to go out and buy some more, so we've got the odd green, yellow and red one in as well. I'm just going to start by pinning in the corners. And then I'm just going to go in and pin some of like the loose ones. And if you can try and get your photos to overlap, you can kind of pin a few down at once. Yeah, that top row needs pinning. Maybe don't do that until you've put in quite a few more pins, because otherwise your whole thing could just fall off your board and then where would we be? So I've used all my pink and clear ones, so I'm going to see if that just stays. I just need to do that top one, but I might be able to do that with a bit of tape actually. I mean, you could even do this around your goals board. So you could, if you've got a bigger kind of cork board, you could put your goals board in the middle and then put some affirmations around it that are going to kind of boost you and help you achieve those goals, like self-belief affirmations, kind of manifestations, because then that could all try and help you achieve your goals. So you're seeing your goals, reading the affirmations, and it just gives you that motivation then. I know all this sounds like a bit of mumbo jumbo, and I thought completely, but in 2023 I got really into like affirmations and journaling and just kind of writing down different things that I wanted and self-belief, and it really did help change my mindset. Now I do still have this one, but I might just kind of pin it to the bottom and just let it dangle. That's another thing, you don't have to stay within, you can always just add ones to the side. I'll just leave it off for the time being though. But that's it for today's video, guys. It was really quick, really easy. Obviously there's no glue or anything involved. Obviously once you've got everything printed out and cut, that's probably the most time consuming part. But actually putting it together really isn't that long at all. And it's just a nice little bit of colour to add to your wall. Like I said, I have mine at the end of the bed just so, boom, it's there. Every morning when I wake up, I can read it. Every time before I go to bed, I can read one. And it just helps with like gratitude journaling and bits like that. So this is kind of what it's looking like. I'm really happy with it. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video, guys. It was short but sweet, but hopefully it's given you an idea for something that you can do. There's honestly so many different quotes and illustrations on Instagram, Pinterest, Google. So there's so many that you can cut off and use for your own affirmation board. If you have liked this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button also. I'll also link the video where I did the DIY goals board. That was my previous video if you wanted to go check that out. And I'll catch you at the next one, guys. Thanks, bye!